Hello! Today I'd like to show you how to start a square bottom in root weaving. There have been quite a few questions after the previous masterclass. So today we are going to discuss a square bottom in more detail. We start a square bottom in the same way as a round bottom. I take a felt pen, a bit thicker than a pen or a pencil, and roll a few coils, 2 or 3. My tubes are rather thick, 10.5 centimeters, which is about 4 inches wide strips, rolled around a knitting needle number 1.2. Fasten the coils in the same way as in the case of a round bottom, and make a few stitches. I usually make 6. Six coils are quite enough to entirely fill the inner gap. One, two, three, four, 5. One more stitch. 6. Distribute the coils, lengthen a working tube, hide the joint, and weave the first row in the familiar way. Don't pull the stitches too tight, as you know. So far we're repeating all the steps I've already shown you. But I'd like to show you the way I start weaving completely. Lengthen the tube of the base. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. So we've woven the first row. Now let's weave the second row, adding new loops. I mean, you have to lead the first stitch through the previous loop, so lead the first stitch through the previous loop. As for the second one, lead it underneath the pole. This way I'm reducing the intervals between the loops. Don't tighten the loops. Again, through the loop, and under the row. Continue this way until the end of the row. This way we are getting 12 loops. After which I'll start shaping a square. 1, 2. Try to soften the tubes to avoid breaks. So, under the loop, well, let's lengthen the tube. So I've woven the second row. Now I've got 12 loops. Now start shaping a square. How do I do? I just shape an angle by the tube of the base in the first row. As for the rest of the stitches, I just weave in the familiar way. I have to shape 4 angles. I've got 12 loops. This means that between the angles I have to weave 3 stitches. Frequent lengthening makes the process slower, but you can do nothing about it. So shape an angle. Hold the joint tightly to keep it from sliding apart. 1. Make a neat stitch. 2. And 3. It's time to start thinking about the following angle. 3 loops between the angles. Shape an angle. Well, the angle is right at the point of lengthening, but it's okay. I've lengthened the tube with glue, so no problem. 1. The tubes have dried a little. I took them from the freezer yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I've kept them in a plastic bag until now. So they are now not so soft, but anyway comfortable to weave with. The main thing is not to forget to soften them. 2 angles have been already shaped. So, make the 3rd stitch, shape in the next angle. I've got 3 coils, an angle, the next 3 coils, 1, 2, 3, and 1 more angle. One, I've already got 4 angles. Now my task is to continue shaping the following angles and make sure there are equal numbers of coils at each side. Well, in this row I'm going to make 4 stitches. And each following side will have 4 coils as well. Lead a tube through the previous angle, shape an angle, and only after this, lead a stitch through the following loop. You see, at the corner I lead 1 more stitch through the corner loop of the previous row. Let's take a look once again. 1, 2, shape an angle, bend the tube, and once again through this loop, and only after having shaped an angle I lead a stitch through the following loop. So continue weaving this way. The item and the number of coils is getting bigger due to the additional coils I make at every corner. This way the woven cloth is getting gradually bigger. Our task is keeping the angles right. As you see, you can pull them a bit if you failed at some point. So make sure the angles are right. Otherwise your item would be warped. So the essential points are right angles and the equal number of coils in each following row. It is what concerns the way I start weaving a square bottom. In the next masterclass I'm going to show you how to make a sharp transition in order to get a cube-shaped item. And how to weave an item with sides gradually widening a tilt. But these are the topic for the next video.